Does this mic work?
Hello?
Well then, fuck that mic!
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Because they came to who's house?
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you!
I hope everyone has a ball.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
With Stefan.
Yeah, that's nice.
Kevin. I think it's going to work this time. And Corey.
You should have started reeling because I've been all over that.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
I feel like it just destroyed my life in general.
Not forget Jesus, people!
Solid A+.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
There's a no-hitter right now. Bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow! Yeah, well, who'd you say stuff on? Darby. Yeah, say my name right if I come on this fucking show, dude. I said Sam Darby. Sam Darby for Heisman.
Sam Darnold?
Darnold, whatever his name is. Ronald.
Say his name right if you're on this damn show.
And here we go.
Hello and welcome to the 44th edition of We Might Know Sports. I, as always, am your host, Kevin, joined with my other co-hosts, Stefan and Corey.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? If you're a fan of Syracuse, this is a big episode.
Yeah,
44.
I'm glad someone picked up on that reference in the background that no one can see.
I don't get it.
If I can do this right, freehand. There you go. Is this better? I think this works. Big episode. Not really. Actually, probably one of our least jam-packed episodes in a long time. Just the normal NFL chit-chat.
I was going to say that's perfect because we have a lot to say with the NFL.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And we have some picks for the Super Bowl coming up. But let's start with my favorite subject, NBA.
All right, lead the way, Kevin.
So, you guys want me to lead the way? I mean, I'm going to an NBA game in December.
There you go. Wow. Seattle Supersonics coming back to town?
Yeah, you know. No, actually, I'm going to see the process down in Portland.
Wow.
Oh, that'll be sweet. You get to see Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Zach Collins,
if he plays.
All those players.
And a possible Rookie of the Year candidate in Ben Simmons.
I mean, I didn't like covering Hillard in NBA 2K18, I gotta admit. So
Lillard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just nothing but trouble, so.
It's pretty good.
Then hopefully Embiid's healthy.
Yeah. Doesn't look like the Trailblazers are anything special right now, but it's still early.
They're a two-man team, though.
Yeah.
Kind of been that for a while.
Yeah, they've been that way for quite a while. See if the Sixers youth and
Let's get right into something we agree on early on.
all right.
Celtics are freaking good.
Celtics are for real.
They're for real.
Doesn't matter who's out there.
That's why I got to say they're for real. I don't know any other team that loses like all their superstars. They throw a rookie out there and they win games. It's just unreal.
Can we just give Brad Stevens Coach of the Year right now? Like,
can we just watch Celtics Golden State now, please?
I know. I really can't wait for that game. Excited for that game. Two of my favorite teams.
On a producing note, we may lose power.
Perfect.
Just a heads up. So we might come back in a different form, but the show will go on. Oh, did I already lose you? I think I already lost you. That's not good. Wow, that was quick. Uh-oh. Well, I guess they were talking about some NBA. And yeah. On with the show. This is it. What's funny is that this is actually still going out, which is amazing. So please bear with us. Well, I try and get them back. I think we might go back to the episode screen for a little bit. Up. I see a circle. Could it be? Everything was going fine too. Let's get them back on the line because I'm sure no one really wants to hear me talk, especially about NBA. I mean, all I can give you is what I know from NBA 2K18, because why would I be playing NBA 2K8? Well, I mean, Allen Iverson was still in the game, so I'd still be playing as Allen Iverson. And let's just get them on the rolling. First, let's kick them. Oh, there they are.
Hey! So it was us, huh?
Yeah. So from what you guys missed in my brief chat with myself, I brought up NBA 2K8 because I didn't think about it was 2K18. So I was talking about Allen Iverson, and then you guys popped up. So
Allen Iverson's going to be coaching.
For who?
For one of the big three teams. That, you know about the Big Three League that Ice Cube
You mean the
started?
one skipped out on?
Yes. Now he's going to be a coach of a team.
Uh-huh. A little less stress for him, I guess.
Did you see that Ron Artest is joining it?
He's joining the team, and Iverson's going to be the coach. So that'll be a fun tandem.
Interesting.
All right. So back to NBA talk.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned the Celtics being the real deal. Out west, well, I guess if we're going to be on the East, might as well talk about what the heck's going on in Cleveland. Do they just suck?
Did Kyrie make that much of a difference?
Will Isaiah Thomas make that much of a difference?
No. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, apparently Kyrie did, because the Celtics look unreal, and Cleveland looks in trouble. So,
yeah, that's a. I just, it just every time you think of, I mean, there was that little stretch there in the beginning with when LeBron went to Miami where they but I don't even feel like they struggled like this.
no.
Like every team LeBron's been on, maybe not his like early years.
They were like riding 500, that Miami team. This team's below.
Yeah.
What looks like the Miami team, the closest thing to compare it to is what's going on with the Thunder.
But I don't compare it to the same though. Like, I mean, they have new pieces. I guess that's the comparison that you're.
Well, I mean, Bosh and LeBron went to Miami where Wade already was. Isn't it the same as George and Carmelo going there where Westbrook already is?
Oh, you're comparing that to the Miami?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The
I
Thunder.
thought you were comparing the two.
No, I think a better comparison to Miami is what's going on with the Thunder.
Yes, I agree. I think it's just taking them some time to. Kevin's taking pictures of us. Kind of creepy.
No.
I'm not excited.
Yes, I think that it's just taking time for that team to gel. I think they do have a really good team. Although I don't know if they just don't have enough supporting, because I feel like the stars are doing what they have to do.
Yeah.
Every time I see Melo's stats, it's like 20-something points. And usually Paul George putting up decent numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that I don't know. Maybe their supporting cast isn't good enough. Maybe their bench isn't good enough. Maybe once the starters come out, that's where they lose it. I don't know.
I was looking back on our podcast where we named who we thought would make the playoffs on each side.
Mhm.
And I think I was looking, and right now we'd be 100% correct. Because the Clippers at first were doing so well, and we thought they'd drop out. They're out, and Utah's playing better now, and they're in. We mentioned well, I don't have to go through all the teams. All I can say is, and I have it correct, not in the right order, but all the teams that would be in. I think the biggest surprise is the Knicks being so good.
Yeah. Losing Melo. Everybody thought they were pretty much throwing it in this year.
Yeah, and Porzingis just being one of the best players.
Apparently he just needed that freedom to
Be the man.
be the man.
What about LeBron saying the Knicks made a mistake not drafting Dennis Smith? It's fact, right?
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Phil's not there to have to worry about that fuck up.
No. On that note, Lonzo Ball, youngest player ever with a triple-double, and it was a big one. Shot the ball well. Anytime he shoots the ball well, he's going to have a good night.
He's just very streaky right now. Which, I mean, obviously, as he matures, it should be more consistent. But
I was actually going to give him a pass all week because I know his family has a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure these people are real human beings and have lives outside of basketball. So I'm sure he's bothered knowing that his brother could be in prison.
They're just holding him for another week or two.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I know that I watch Ball and the Family, the YouTube series, and LiAngelo and Lonzo are pretty tight. So I'm sure he's, it's on his mind.
But don't worry, Trump's on it.
Trump's
Trump is talking to the president of China, the leader of China, whatever he is, their president.
God.
I don't know what
I
China
don't know.
has.
Probably a dictator. I don't know.
I don't think. No, there's like.
No, they aren't communists. But they would.
Yeah, but they're a weird communist.
Other than that, the West is kind of what we thought it was. Spurs are tough. Houston's tough. Golden State's probably the cream of the crop.
Yeah. It's not as competitive as I thought. I mean, it's still early.
Well, we thought the Thunder would be better.
Yeah.
New Orleans is actually.
I think I
competitive
said that.
this
Like
year.
I thought Thunder might take a little bit
Yeah.
to get going, but I think eventually they'll.
I was a little surprised with New Orleans. This DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis thing's actually working out right now.
I think they got a winning record right now.
Yeah. It's kind of surprising me. That's all I got on the NBA, really.
The East is probably more surprising.
The East is more exciting. The Bucks.
You got Detroit up there.
Bucks. Oh, I guess the trade has happened since we were last on. Eric Bledsoe was traded to the Bucks for conditional draft picks, I believe.
So I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see.
That's a big move. The Bucks have been winning since. So.
Winning since. What happened in college basketball? I've been busy this past weekend. I had a couple tests, so I saw some teams won, like Syracuse, and I watched a little bit of the West Virginia Texas A&M game. But any other shakers? Stefan, you said your top 25 could have changed. We didn't do a poll this week because it just started this past weekend. But
well, it would change because of that game I think you just spoke of. But I'll let Stefan speak on it.
The West Virginia game for sure. I would also have dropped Kentucky from, I believe I have them as my number one. They did not look good in either of the two games they played. They were actually down by double digits, I think, to Utah Valley or something. And they only beat Vermont by 4 points. So, not impressed by them. It's probably going to be one of their years where they're just young, immature.
And then come
got a lot
tournament
of
time, they
talent.
make a run.
Yeah, I mean, usually the SEC is a little easy, so they should be okay. but it might take them some time to get some more experience and whatnot.
I did see that Utah Valley had a gauntlet
Yeah,
to start the season
Kentucky then Duke, like back-to-back
in
nights.
24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you aren't that great of a, I shouldn't say aren't that great, but if you aren't a big name recruit and you got a coach that can tell you, hey, we're going to play Duke in Kentucky every year, people are going to start going there.
Because you're guaranteed some kind of TV time.
Yeah, you're guaranteed some kind of exposure. You're guaranteed the top level of competition. I think that's enticing to a lot of kids.
Also, take a pretty penny to go to those schools and play.
Yeah, you get paid, what, $500,000?
Something ridiculous. It's so crazy that you pay these little schools to come play you.
I know. It's almost as ridiculous as the Roger Goodell negotiations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that.
We'll get to that. There's a reason why I didn't want to lead off to it. I wanted to make sure everything was flowing right here. Because, yeah. Here, let me crack open my beer.
I just figured it'd be more entertaining if I get drunk and argue football with Stefan today.
I went the other route, not getting drunk.
He's going to be the sober.
He's got coffee and, well, what I think is coffee.
Yep.
That's pure coffee.
A little instant pumpkin spice latte. Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out. Wichita State plays tonight. I'm going to try to catch a little bit of their game. They play on CBS Sports, I think. They've got them ranked up at 6th right now, and I don't know. I don't know, who's on their team that makes them this good.
I think they're feeding off of last year.
But I mean, okay, so yeah.
That's all you can really base these polls on. If they return some people.
Is Shaka their coach?
Mm-mm.
Who's Texas? Texas. Okay, yeah. He was VCU. I get the black and gold.
No, Wichita State still has the same coach.
I like him.
Yeah, he's refusing to sell out. I mean, Shaka, he hung on to VCU for a while, but then he went for greener pastures.
I don't know, and Texas really hasn't been greener.
I thought that he would turn that program. I mean, it's still early. I think he's only been there for, 2 years? Maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that,
I mean, you got to give him some time to get the recruits that he wants and stuff.
Yeah, but I think his style of play, which I think you would agree is like aggressive defense and then run up and down the court, I would say that style of play doesn't work in the Big 12.
Probably not.
And I think that's
night after night.
I think that's what's struggling.
I'm sure he can catch some of those teams off guard, but unlike in the smaller conferences, doing that night after night.
Well, and the Big 12 is known for grinded out defense, big teams. They're always tall.
Well, plus you're playing a lot of those teams, and those teams probably have better athletes that are in better shape, can actually run up and down.
Right now, the recruits they're getting, yeah. I mean, I never really understood the kind of recruits that Rick Barnes got. I figured he was always paying his players. How the hell did he get Avery Bradley, the number 1 player out of high school, to go there? How the hell did he get Kevin Durant to go there?
Don't know. Texas still gets good recruits. They had that one guy last year. Went to the NBA. Tall guy with the afro.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name was.
Me either. Keep on wanting to say John Collins, but that was the Wake Forest kid.
Yeah.
I see Mike Hopkins debuted with 2 straight wins for Washington. Not
good. I want them to be undefeated when Gonzaga plays them. Battle for Washington.
Gonzaga was ranked number 1. If it make you feel any better, I mean,
ranked number 1
in the state.
Obviously.
Someone came out with.
Who else would beat them out in the
Well,
state?
so here's the thing. I found these rankings after our podcast, and they had for New York, St. Bonaventure is the number 1.
Yeah,
and I was like, what? Like, at least put St. John's.
Yeah, aren't those like the top teams to make the tournament or something? What was the?
I don't know. I
ranking?
didn't read too much into it.
It wasn't based on fans because Syracuse would have won
Yeah.
New York, obviously. So I think it had something to do with like who had the best chance of like making a tournament. I don't know, something about the tournament. I think
Is Syracuse the face of New York?
it's New York's college team.
Is it?
Self-proclaimed,
Yeah.
though.
What they advertise as. I would say it is because you go down to Madison Square Garden, and where the most of the fans.
Yeah.
Syracuse
St.
fans.
John's doesn't get more love.
Mhm.
Even though they've had back in before,
Yeah.
when we were young, they had better success.
Not so much anymore.
Their last good player to go through there is Ron Artest.
I didn't even know he went there.
Who were the other two players still in China for UCLA?
I just saw them, but I forget who they were.
Are they anyone important to them? Because they have a game
Yes.
coming up.
Yes, they are important to them.
Yeah, because even UCLA didn't look that good in there.
They were good recruits, and UCLA's going to struggle without three of them, without all three. LiAngelo was only supposed to be their sixth man, so it's not like he was a huge hit, but they were all recruits that were expected to get playing time, so that is going to affect your team.
Yeah, because UCLA.
Yeah, but Georgia
Just beat
Tech was
Georgia
good
Tech.
last year. To their credit, Georgia Tech was good. They made the tournament.
They're not good this year. Okay.
Why did they lose a lot of people?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
They're just not ranked.
Oh.
So I don't consider them good.
I'm just saying that to me.
No, that's obviously a quality.
I mean,
I think these are
UCLA's got Creighton coming up next Monday, so
I will
that's-
say though,
that's
I was
not
a
a gimme.
big supporter.
You know what? I just realized I didn't even know that Zags were playing in Creighton. They played them this year, so that's a good.
yeah, that's one of their
They're
like
good.
3 non-conference games that can be true
That's
tests.
they're gonna get some good challenges in the that
San
little
Francisco does not count.
PK, the PK80
Oh.
tournament. I'm talking
Hey,
about.
San Francisco has a national title.
Yeah. So get the hell out of here with your shit.
So is Syracuse, and how do we think about them this year?
Touche, sir. I don't even know if they make the tournament this year. I'm just being serious.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's really expecting it. It's going to be one of those years where it's like wait and see.
I'm a Tyus Battle fan, though. I hope he carries them on his back and becomes a college superstar.
The thing with Syracuse, though, is just like every year, they have so many opportunities to better their resume that even when they have like a bad loss, if they come back and beat like a Duke or a North Carolina, all of a sudden it makes them look that much better.
Well, that's why last year they were. Did they make it last year?
No, they didn't.
No, they missed it.
They
They
were
were on the
board. They were
bubble.
the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull up some.
Made it interesting.
Funny
and-
thing was, the year before that, I thought they weren't going to make it,
yeah.
and then they made it.
And then they made it
last
run.
year. I was like, oh, they'll get in, and then they didn't get in. So apparently, whatever I decide for Syracuse is the opposite.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, just going on a whim here. Let's see. Breaking news: Aaron Judge, AL MVP,
Hey,
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, and also signed a major sponsorship with Pepsi. He is the face of Pepsi.
Until some sexual allegation comes out against him. Too soon. Oh.
I don't. If you that's like trying to molest Terry Crews. I don't know what person would have the balls to try. The dude is huge.
Apparently, it's been done. So
I don't.
listen, if I was going to day off it, I'd try.
I won't judge you.
Everyone saw Stefan's email if they were watching live, so just send email complaints to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do we want to jump into NFL?
Sidebar: we do not promote sexual harassment.
No.
It's a terrible thing.
I just find it funny that everyone's coming out with their stories all of a sudden.
I think it's weird that they all are coming out now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's usually how these kind of things work. Like, not that any of it's good, but I mean,
I didn't
I
even
don't-
know Hope Solo was still alive and hers came out.
House of Cards was one of my favorite shows. You know how disappointed I am in Kevin Spacey right now?
Yeah, and I was actually kind of like, oh, this is just another thing, and then I heard rumblings that there was cover-ups of his previous indiscretions. So,
and then even bigger news and disappointing for me was Louis C.K. admitting it, and I was like, damn,
and not apologizing. Not once did he say sorry.
He said, yes, I totally took advantage of my situation and my position of power.
A lot of shit going on. This is, not that it's okay, but a lot of this shit, I mean, it's not surprising to hear about.
It's not surprising to me because, like I said, isn't Hollywood like the land of the most beautiful people in the world?
Yeah.
If you throw all the most beautiful people in the world, you think they aren't going to touch each other?
Mm-hmm. I think the funny part is like everyone's like, "Oh, well, yeah, I heard about it. Not surprising." It's like no one like, "Hey, maybe we should throw a red flag here." I mean, I get why some of them. It was just because of, hey, I have no evidence other than that's what he said, but or she said, and eventually somewhere there's that first line.
Miles Bridges looked good.
I haven't caught him yet.
I think he had a 2010.
Not sold on him. The Arizona kid looked good.
Who's
Dropped
Arizona
back-to-back
kid?
30-point games. Trier.
20 and 10. No doubt.
Let's talk about West Coast basketball. Okay.
West Coast basketball.
The only basketball that matters.
Did a West Coast team win the NCAA championship last year?
No.
Oh wait, no, that was North Carolina. So East Coast.
No, that would be right here.
Yeah.
Cheetah.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, right there. Trier. Alonzo Trier.
No, but what I will say about last year is the teams with the two best rosters I thought actually made it.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah, usually not. Usually they get tripped up.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Roger Goodell.
We want to do our college picks.
College picks for what? Oh, the basketball? I forgot I even put that on there. Even though we discussed it right before we went live. So much has happened.
Like 6 games.
Yeah. We'll do 6 games this week.
Syracuse is on there too? Wow. And apparently Siri thinks I'm talking to her, so there's that. All right. So, let me pull that screen share up for everyone. We've got whoops, wrong button. We've got Duke versus Michigan State. We've got Duke versus Michigan State. Kentucky versus Kansas. That's tomorrow. That's the big preseason showdown in Madison Square Garden, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And we have.
I think we can all agree that these are the 2 games of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of like Iona SCO.
That could be interesting. All right.
Upset City.
Corey, who are you picking? Duke or Michigan State?
I'm all on the Bridges train. So I'm going Michigan State.
I could have made that pick for you.
Oh, I have to type them in? Okay.
Oh, I was waiting. You were highlighted
it's
on there.
Stefan's segment. Let him do it.
Oh, this is my segment.
Because you're the college basketball expert.
Am I?
I believe so.
I don't think I've ever won a college basketball bracket.
That's how it works. Haven't you figured that out? The NASCAR expert is not going to win NASCAR.
Who do we
The
consider
soccer
football?
expert is
The college football is Joe. He's not winning. I got 3 30s in a row.
the soccer expert isn't winning. I mean, the only thing we don't really have an expert in is NFL because we all claim to be one. So,
which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I must be the least because I'm winning it. So
sounds about right.
Okay, Duke for me.
All right, Kentucky versus Kansas is the second game of the night tomorrow, 9 p.m. I believe start time.
Going with the Hawks.
Sorry, trying to do something for
The
production.
Jayhawks.
Kansas.
What are you, Matt?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not a college basketball expert.
Rock Chalk.
I will go Kansas. Apparently.
I'll be odd man out. I'll go Kentucky.
After you just said they look like shit.
Maybe they'll turn it around.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll play up to the competition. Kind of like a Syracuse
I
thing.
mean, you do have them number 1 on your poll, so I guess you
So
got to stick with
I
it.
gotta buy in, right? Gotta buy in till they lose.
He's all in.
Going with the Zags.
Let's just give that the clean sweep, I'm guessing.
Probably the next 3 are all sweet.
I don't know.
Iona is a tricky one.
It's interesting.
We are talking about Syracuse.
That might be the only one out of the
But
3 that I like.
even though I'm going with the orange.
You know what? Just because I'm so confident in my other 3 picks, I'm going to go Iona.
Yeah, finish. I already knew where you're going. And you're going to get a very angry text message if this comes true.
I'm going with the Tar Heels.
Yeah, let's go UNC all the way across. I'm pretty sure for that one. Unless Kevin's feeling frisky.
No, not
Hey,
on
Buck,
this.
no.
No, not
Buck
feeling.
now sometimes.
Yeah, at Syracuse in 2004 after
Yeah,
So
their
this is an
national
interesting
championship.
game, I thought
I'm going with Xavier.
Wisconsin's not ranked this year.
I
so
have no idea what this
Never
game
know.
is because you're blocking it with your cursor.
I'm not blocking anything.
There we go. You didn't hit enter, so it wasn't popping up. It was just a gray box. So shocker, now you have to pick.
Had no idea what he was getting into.
Who are you going with, Corey?
Xavier.
I'm going to go with Wisconsin at home.
Who do
You
you
might
have?
want to change that Q's pick then, so you only get 1 right.
I'm not going to get that one. I feel like this could be a 6-0.
I'm gonna go with Xavier too.
6-0 or 5-1. Probably Wisconsin will win.
Look.
So we've got 6 games. The fun part about college basketball is our pick'ems will expand and shrink as the season goes on.
That they will.
Why is that?
Because we'll pick
It's
more.
always
or
going to be
less.
good games.
Oh.
Yeah. There won't be a limit of how many good
There's-
games.
But we're always just going to pick a Gonzaga, SC, or North Carolina game at least, right?
Yeah. Now can we talk about Goodell and be angry?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, Corey, you seem to be reeling for this topic, so I'll let you talk about it first.
I just think it's crazy how much he's at. I heard upwards of $50 million and use of a private jet,
Lifetime, private jet.
lifetime. And I think I heard he asked for maybe a night with Brady's wife. I'm not sure if that was in there. I figured if he's going to go for it, I might as well go for it all,
But
right?
he didn't ask for a lifetime with Brady's wife, so
Well, one night's okay.
I'm going to allow it.
Lifetime health insurance.
Seems
too.
reasonable.
$50 million a year.
And then the craziness is the owners tell Jerry Jones to shut his mouth and stop fighting Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I don't.
So how are they all on board with this?
Ratings are down.
Because they got fucking money to spend.
Yeah, well, but what does Goodell do for them on the side that we don't know?
Exactly.
Some owners don't even make $40 million a year off of their own teams. Hashtag Cleveland Browns. And it's just ridiculous that it's up to 5 people, 5 owners. Shouldn't it be like a vote for the 32 owners? Like,
Yeah, should they have a majority?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Jerry that it should be 75% vote
and
to get. All should vote, and you should have to get 75% of the vote for it to work.
I mean, you're talking about a league where ratings are going down. Supposedly, there may be a collusion with Jerry Jones and Papa John's owner, but still, you've got sponsors complaining. Especially Budweiser was complaining about the kneeling. I mean, it's chaos right now in the NFL, upper management-wise, and we're going to reward it with, $20 million raise? I think it was, or close to it.
I mean, you can even go further back than just this year and, like, how he's handled all the domestic violence and all that. Where 1 week, all of a sudden, you got a guy that's just getting suspended for, like a game?
4.
And then all of a sudden, the next week, the guy's getting suspended for, like, 6 or 8. And there's just no continuity.
The guy that was going to be suspended the first 6 games of the season, all the way until now, he gets suspended for 4.
That's not on him, though.
Well, and then
he must not have good enough evidence, because how'd Brady just take it? He wasn't even able to fight it.
No, what do you mean Brady fought it?
Yeah,
But then he fought it in the offseason. He lost.
Didn't he fight him like from the year before?
I think so.
So he held it off for a year and then had to take the 4?
I think so.
And then Ray Rice situation, I mean, that's what started the whole downward spiral in my mind about Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
I mean, you suspend a guy 3 games and then the video is leaked, quote unquote. I mean, what else did you expect to see there to have happened in that elevator? Like,
Right.
He's dragging an unconscious body out. Something.
I can name like 3 of them that didn't go that well. The Greg Hardy, the Ray Rice, and the John Brown did not go well for him.
The kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one game into a whole pretty much banned from the NFL. And he was white, and you were very strict on someone that was black, and that doesn't look good.
And they still suspend people more for drug charges than for domestic violence. Drug charge, you're only harming yourself.
Look at Josh Gordon. His career has been ruined. At least Ricky Williams said, hey, I'm going to go smoke weed for a few years.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Listen, you guys,
Maybe.
I'm going to save you guys a couple tests here. Don't bother testing me because I'm out. All right? Once I come back, I'll be clean. I'll have it all done.
You don't want to share? You don't want to pass, puff?
Hey,
Isn't
I
the
respect
NFL
it.
now starting to...
Is it pass, puff?
No, it's puff, pass. But Kevin's obviously not a pothead.
Yeah. Or maybe I indulged. Who knows?
I don't know. He does live in Seattle, right?
Does live in Seattle. It's because he's more in the edibles. You don't pass the edibles, really. You just eat them.
True.
If you pass the edibles, it's kind of weird. Oh, bite. Oh, yeah. Back to me.
Here, let me baby bird you.
When you pass the lollipops, it gets real weird.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Is the NFL the one that's starting, or no? I think it's the UFC that's actually allowing medicinal marijuana.
I know the NFL players want to legalize it or allow it. I think for medicinal use.
Mm.
I know in boxing, you don't even get nothing comes down on you. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not.
You basically get a warning or a fine.
Yeah, I know UFC. As long as it's not like the day of the fight, you're fine.
Right, that's what I mean. I know a lot of fighters have failed after the fight test, and they just get fined.
Yeah.
For marijuana, if you're on cocaine, that's a bigger deal because it actually numbs your body and you can't feel getting punched in the face, and that's a whole different ballgame.
Kind of like John Jones. Did you hear that little announcement made by Joe Rogan? He heard a rumor.
No.
He had a rumor that says that the latest speculation on why John Jones tested positive for that steroid was basically over in China, they mix it in with creatine. Creatine is often mixed in with cocaine. John Jones' birthday was 10 days before the fight. So, making a little more sense of the whole situation. It still means Jones is probably going to get suspended for four years because he's being reckless, but still, it makes a little more sense. I mean, And I think the guy he was doing the podcast with was like, well, now you're just encouraging him to be a fuck up. You can't have a guy that likes to party, like, have his birthday 10 days before he fights. Come on.
Or John Jones.
Silva's out for a while now, too, right?
Silva tested hot. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. He's 40 years old. Come on. He just needs to retire.
I bet you GSP doesn't test positive ever.
He looks thick. So
Thicker than a Snicker.
yeah, is what everyone's saying. So I was trying not to quote everything I've been hearing. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks with Goodell because it hasn't been passed yet. There's still what? I don't even know how this goes on. I've never liked Goodell since the whole Ray Rice situation to begin with. So personally, I hope it doesn't go through, and I hope more owners. One guy I'm surprised I haven't heard speak out against Goodell is Robert Kraft. I mean, what franchise has been more targeted by Goodell?
Yeah, and I think they're like buddy.
Yeah,
on the side.
Yeah, they're like brothers. They fight a little bit, but it's all good in the end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see.
Keep handing him the Super Bowl trophies. What does he got to say?
I just like how much he's booed. Like, you can tell the fans don't even like Goodell because at the Super Bowl you can't even hear what he's saying because everyone's booing him.
All right.
I never heard Taglia booed. But
Taglia boo boo.
Boo boo.
boo boo.
Taglia boo boo.
Anywho, we have some week 10 to discuss now.
This was the week we thought would suck. Bad matchups. We discussed these aren't that great of matchups.
I mean, it wasn't
some interesting outcomes.
I mean, you got the top team in the NFL on their bye week, so you're expected to have a lesser week.
The team with the best record, correct?
The best team in the NFL.
Team with the best
on a
record.
bye week.
Team with the best record.
Best team in the NFL.
We aren't there yet. We can argue that later.
Save it.
You can fool them with your little trickery.
Let's talk about your Bengals.
Hey.
Bungles.
Yeah. Choking it out in the last 2 minutes. Letting Mariota get a game-winning drive.
Hey,
they were competitive. At this point, that's all we can hope for.
That's all you hope for. It's a competitive game.
Perfect, pulling out the Manziel, getting ejected.
Thought that was a little unnecessary tossing. Ejection.
Yeah, but at this point, Perfect can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, true.
He's the biggest head case in the league. AJ Green,
but he's not getting suspended.
AJ Green looked good. I can't even believe he got to play this week. He threw punches last week.
Mike Evans pushes the guy in the back.
Pushes is a little light.
Still, he didn't throw punches.
I'd say blindside tackles.
I don't know how they should have both been suspended.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we didn't know what was being said, and apparently.
It doesn't matter what was being said. You're throwing punches.
It's someone's helmet, though.
You're still throwing punches. If the helmet wasn't on there, then it's just a full-on fist fight.
Punch a face mask.
Either way, I don't have much to say about my team. They suck.
What are you guys drafting this offseason? Quarterback?
No, because I
Sam
like
Darby?
AJ McCarron.
Sam Darby?
Yeah, wherever he's from.
Little known college. Texas Southern, I think.
I don't know. We could use a good safety, some secondary help.
Maybe a wide receiver.
They just spent a pick on John Ross. We can't keep wasting them on freaking receivers. And Brandon LaFell actually looked good. So he had 85 yards on a touchdown, I think. I don't know. Bengals just suck. Titans aren't even that good either, but they have a good record. There's some other teams like that in the league.
And then our weekly
the goddamn Jets
update.
Not looking good for Kevin.
Not looking good.
But you got to be happy in the same respect, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. I was torn because it was a terrible game to watch. 3-3 halftime score. Ended up finishing 15-10 with a drive. You know, I always try and look at the positives, and the positives is Tampa's got a field goal kicker. Their offense sucks without Jameis or Mike Evans. And their defense played stellar after getting whomped on the week before. So there's your criticism sandwich. The Jets, oh boy, did they look awful on offense. I mean,
they were the Jets we all thought they would be.
Yeah, the Jets you and Stefan had hoped them to be. And at this
Hopefully
point...
that's who they're starting to turn into.
That's why I said we need to redo our Super Bowl or contenders, because after halfway through the season, people tend to start to be who they are.
Yeah.
The Jets are who they are. The Bucks are who they are too. They aren't that great either.
I mean,
Not that bad.
They weren't.
Well, are they 3-6?
Yeah, they just got off
yeah, and I think the Bengals suck ass.
a 5-game losing streak. I mean, what's no? I agree with you. That's why I picked the Jets to win, mainly because now I need the Jets to go 3-3 just so I don't have to do any shots.
That seems unlikely at this point.
You never know with the Bills and whatnot and their futures.
You don't know. Seahawks pull out a win that Stefan didn't think they could get. He's a big Cardinals fan these days, for whatever reason.
Because of Adrian Peterson for this negative. No, he got 0.75.
You haven't figured it out. He plays every other game.
I know.
One big game.
I had nobody else.
One big game.
I had nobody else to put in there though. Yeah. I had to play him.
But on a side note, the Seahawks didn't look good either. They just snuck out a win against a bad team.
Yeah, and they cheated too.
That
Russell
seems...
Wilson was supposed to come out of the game.
Yeah, they did.
What do you mean?
He didn't look wobbly.
Okay, but they said that they didn't follow the concussion protocol.
I mean, this is the Seahawks' MO though, is just sneaking them out.
Yeah, but do any of us believe now that Richard Sherman's out for the whole year with a torn ACL that they're any kind of contender?
Does it really? I mean, Richard Sherman was also leading the league in, well, not leading, but one of the top penalized cornerbacks in the league with 8.
We also had one of the highest rates of, I don't know how it's worded, but he had one of the top coverage corners this year.
Yeah.
As far as lack of completions on his side of the field.
He was still getting the job done.
Yeah, that's my point, is he was getting the job done. So essentially anytime you played the Seahawks, you could only throw to one side of the field. Yeah. Now it's all open. It's wide open.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens when they play like the Rams and
the Eagles.
Okay,
so we can't throw the Rams and the Eagles in the same sentence?
No.
I think that's harsh. Yeah. I want to see the Seahawks versus... Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I want to see the Eagles versus the Seahawks.
I think the Eagles-Rams game is going to be very exciting. But it'll probably not be in like a shit game.
The next game was actually a shocker to me that we have on our list.
The Packers-Bears?
I thought the Packers were really done without... Rodgers, and now they have a winning record sitting at 5-4 in that division. And they beat the Bears, whose defense has actually looked good.
It's getting a little crowded up in the top of the North Division of the NFC.
I can't call that. I think the Lions can take that because I'm just not a believer in the Vikings, but Vikings keep winning.
Teddy Bridgewater back emotionally on the sideline.
Yep.
So
I think physically he's there too.
Well, yeah.
Well, do we even need to go over the next game? The Lions did what they were supposed to do, right?
They beat the Browns,
yeah. Stafford looked great against a shit team. Good job, man. Next, surprise. The Steelers struggled with the Colts.
Kenny Galladay's back. We talk about that.
2 catches for 64 yards.
The guy I put in was not.
Not
a factor.
So the Steelers eke out a win. Are they in the same breath as the Seahawks, or are they better?
I think
Well, record-wise, they're better.
record-wise, but they just keep on sneaking out close wins against teams that they should beat.
I don't think the Steelers are anything special this year. They've been getting wins, but I don't.
They're in a pretty bad division if you look at it.
Yeah, probably one of the worst,
Mm-hmm.
if not the worst.
The worst.
With only one team with a winning record. Yeah,
They're the worst division.
well, Chiefs. Yeah, that's the only. Yeah, that division is weirdly bad.
Yeah, the division that everyone thought would be the best.
Usually, yeah.
Jaguars.
That game,
Thanks.
I watched that end of the game after the Bucks game, and it was just like the Chargers were like, "No, you win the game. I don't want to win. You win it." Like it was sad because it was just like continuous turnover or penalty at the end of the game to just throw it into overtime, and then Phillip Rivers does what Phillip Rivers does best, which is either throw an amazing pass to win the game or throw an interception to lose it, and he did the latter. So he did, I must say, have spectacular form on the interception tackle, though. I mean, he leveled that guy. So,
And that's the Jaguars winning without Fournette even doing anything in that game.
both running backs, thankfully, both are on my team. However, both running backs were shut down by each defense. So,
Because I think the Jaguars have one of the best defenses in the league.
They're both. I have both of them on my money league, but luckily I also have Mark Ingram, who tore it up this week.
Yes, he did. That's why I won my money league. Actually, my whole team went off. And
I had Mark Ingram and Jared Goff in my money league.
solid. I had Robert Woods on my bench and and Deion Lewis, who had 2 touchdowns.
Well played.
Yeah. Congrats, Gary. I handed you one. You should be proud.
Still can't beat me. And I'm going to beat Corey this week, so.
Do I have you next week?
Oh, yeah. You have me.
I had you at hello. The Saints beat down the Bills.
Are the Bills coming back to earth? Is this
Yes.
the Bills that
we thought they were?
yeah. Or is this just a little blip?
These are the Bills that
Is this a little blip?
These are the Bills that I thought they were, but more surprisingly, these Saints are way better than I thought they were.
I saw a very angry Bills fan on Facebook, and they did not.
The streaking one?
Yeah, no.
Oh, they had a streaker in that game.
Yeah.
Basically, it was like, I knew it all along.
Yeah, my couple Bills fans friends were awful quiet on Sunday.
When the Saints don't need Drew Brees to throw touchdown passes, they're a very scary team.
It's always nice. It gets a little more pleasant on Facebook when Bills start coming back to earth, and you just don't have all that noise from Bills fans.
That's why I'm so excited where the Giants are at.
Yeah.
It's been very quiet around here.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings beat the Redskins. Case Keenum looked like a stud. 4 touchdown passes.
We talked about Teddy Bridgewater being back on the sidelines. What's going to happen with them this offseason? Which one do you think they keep both or get rid of one?
I would trade Bridgewater. I think there's more value in it. No one wants Bradford.
Problem with Bridgewater is without seeing him play, nobody's really going to want to offer a lot because they don't know what he can and can't still do. And then Bradford, obviously, he's always got the injury.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he's up there in age, too, so it's not like he's
Right.
a young stud.
There's just not a lot of value in him.
yeah. I mean, a team like the Packers or something.
Mhm.
But obviously, by that point next year, Rodgers will be back.
Correct.
Can't trade him now.
Although I'll never draft Rodgers again because once you break your collarbone, it's over.
Didn't he already break a collarbone?
Yeah, he did just break it.
No, before that.
I don't know, did he?
I don't know.
feel like he's going to be like Romo now. And it's over.
Doubt it.
Fragile.
Fragile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Texans
We're
were
mighty Houston Texans here.
They were Deshaun Watson. They're over. They're done. DeAndre Hopkins has Tom Savage throwing him the ball, and he still can get 100 yards receiving. But does it matter? No. Because their defense sucks.
And the Rams' defense is good.
And the Rams are just good. Jared Goff for president.
God, it's going to be scary come playoff time with the Rams in the playoffs.
It's going to be different.
Could this go down as like one of the best drafts of quarterbacks? That draft class? With Jared Goff, Wentz, Dak.
Dak. One of them. Those are the three best quarterbacks, although two of them, well, one of them this week showed it. One of them didn't play, and the other one got annihilated.
So I thought he was.
A sack.
He was just a product of Zeke. That's all he is.
Sacked 6 times.
A product of Zeke.
Defense couldn't stop the Falcons after Sean Lee strained his hamstring. And Dak didn't have any help once his offensive lineman, Tyron Smith, declared he wasn't going to play the game. That was his blind side. And was he tackled? Was he sacked all night from the blind side? Yes, he was.
Only 6 times.
Only 6 times.
Only.
From one guy.
So, I mean, and Tyron Smith is one of the best offensive linemen in the league. That really hurt. Falcons, I originally picked the Cowboys on our podcast last week.
Yeah, is that allowed?
Hey, when things happen during the week.
I'm pretty sure that
It
when I've
isn't.
made picks before, and then all of a sudden I want to change my pick during the week, I've been told no. I'm just, this doesn't matter to me.
I
Just
didn't
wondering
think it
what the-
was. Otherwise, I would have changed my pick too, but I stuck it out.
I mean, I get your point. Like, obviously,
Well, things
happen
happen.
during the week, but
Like, what if Dak, broke his
I
leg?
think that was one of the reasons I wanted to change at one point, and then I got told I couldn't do it.
Well, from now on, I won't touch it.
No, I think we take away that win.
Take it away. Go ahead.
I don't care. I'm still beating you.
I don't care. I'll never win this. This season's a
We
bust
both
for me.
picked the 49ers, Kevin, to beat
Yeah.
the Giants.
Hey.
Giants quit. Giants quit. It's over for them. I don't know what they're going to draft or what they're going to do. Because if you have the number 1 overall pick or the number 2 pick, you aren't going to take Saquon Barkley, which is what you need. But you aren't going to take a running back that high.
I think it's time to pack it in, call it a season, and maybe clear house. Because, I mean, what have the Giants really done in the last couple seasons?
Nothing. They need help all the way. Actually, last year their defense played well. This year their defense sucks. They have an old quarterback they could always get rid of.
It's one of those things, though. Like, you were just 11-5 last year. Obviously, this year is not going the way that was expected.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you do you just ship everybody out at that point, or do you wait and see if it starts off bad again the following year, then make the cut? I don't know. I mean, the Tom Coughlin move's not looking so hot right now.
No.
That one backfired.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then the last game, I don't have much to say except
Wait,
the
hold on.
Broncos are who you thought they were.
Can we give a moment of respect to the 49ers? They now have a win, leaving us with one defeated team for the year. So
Yeah.
pour one out.
Which
Pouring out
I
for
saw statistically there was a 1% chance we'd have 2 0-16 teams. There's even a 3% chance that we'll have 1 0-16 team. So
Still got the Bengals.
the 49ers were going to get a win. The question is, will the Browns?
Still got the Bengals, right? Again?
The Browns, yeah.
Yeah.
They could win
good
that
chance.
game. Yeah, they could beat the Ravens. Ravens aren't that good.
This was probably best case scenario for the Eagles. Not play a game and have all 3 division teams lose.
Absolutely. They got a stranglehold on the division.
So now even say they lose both games to the Cowboys. You just win out the rest of the games and you got the division.
I mean, we'll get to that, but I don't even know if that'll happen.
No, there's no way. If they lose Sunday night, I would be surprised.
Yeah. And then the Patriots, like I said, they did what they're supposed to do to the team that's flailing.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos seem in trouble. Something's wrong. They need a quarterback.
Not only is their offense, but their defense isn't looking great
No,
at all. either.
anymore. No.
51 points last week, 41 points this week. Like,
Yeah.
I get it that like offense not doing their job is gonna put more pressure on the defense, but
No, you guys were right on the Broncos. You both thought they were trash. I thought they were good. They're
Wait.
trash.
Didn't you say 13-3?
Something like that. They might be
Texans were 13-3
Hey,
too.
they might be 3-13, which will be just as the same.
Just as impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the Cleveland Browns schedule, and I'm going to say they're going to get their win December 24th. Early
Against
Christmas.
the Bengals.
Nope. Bears.
Is it home?
No, it's in Chicago, but you never know.
You never know.
The next Bengals game is November 26th. And that's in Cincinnati, so.
Thanksgiving week.
So Cincinnati better have at least 4 wins this season. Otherwise, I'm jumping ship. I'm going to be an Eagles fan.
Oh, God. No, don't do it. Don't
All the shade
do
you
it.
throw at us, you're not even allowed to be an Eagles fan. You can go be a shitty Bucks fan or
Texans fan.
a Bills fan.
Wow, harsh words. Let me just rearrange the screen so we can pull up the standings real quick. Patriots, of course, first in the AFC East. The Eagles 8-1. And the North in the NFC, Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears. There's no oh my in that division. It's just Lions, Packers, Vikings, as Corey said earlier. NFC South, still competitive. Saints, Panthers, Falcons, all within 2 games of each other. So
Bucks could pull something out.
yeah, I mean, they're still in there somewhere.
The AFC South is interesting between 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, Jaguars and Titans, who thought that? I mean,
we all thought the Titans, though, I think. But I think we're surprised the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean,
We thought the Colts would be vying for that position with Luck, but with Luck out all year. And I obviously thought the Texans would be good, and I still think they would have been had Deshaun Watson not got hurt.
You weren't counting on Deshaun Watson even playing.
And J.J. Watt.
No, if you look at the podcast, I said middle of the season he would be the starting quarterback.
Yeah. Middle of the season?
Yeah,
So
well,
you're telling me that they won.
got accelerated.
It accelerated.
Well, you're telling me that, so middle of the season, so 8 games. So you're saying that they would have won 5 out of 8? They would have gone 5-3 with Tom Savage as quarterback?
Actually, it was predicting better because I doubt they were going to go undefeated with Deshaun Watson. I also didn't know that Brian Cushing and J.J. Watt and their whole defense was going to get decimated. But injuries happen.
And then
Monday night, who do we all got? Panthers?
Although Dolphins' running game has looked better without J.J. Let's see if they can.
But J.J. looks better on Philly.
Yeah. I think it's one of those change of scenery type deals. Spend so much time in one place. And sometimes you just wear out your welcome.
I like the Panthers to go to 7-3.
How do we do on the picks? Stefan kind of spoiled it. We went 4-1. Well, he went 4-1. So did Corey. And I went 2-3. And this week we have the Bengals versus Broncos. I'm the only one riding the Broncos train. And then the Bucks versus Dolphins. Stefan's picking the Dolphins. Corey and I are Bucks fans again. And Eagles versus Cowboys. It's a clean sweep. Eagles. No one wants to touch the Cowboys. And
Yeah, no.
Titans versus Steelers. I'm taking the Titans.
It's a tough road game for them, but could happen.
Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. Steelers keep finding a way. So
Yeah.
I was back and forth on this one, but I'm just giving it to the Titans.
We all hopped on the Rams bandwagon.
This just in. Philip Rivers' status changed from healthy to questionable, so there's that going into next week for the Chargers. Rams versus Vikings. Another clean sweep for the Rams. No one wanted to test Casey Keenum.
It's two good defenses. I just think the Rams have a better offense.
This is the statement game for the Vikings. If the Vikings stop the Rams offense and pull out a win, they're for real. If they don't, they are who I think they are.
Yeah.
And who apparently we all feel they are. We all just assume they don't have a good enough offense to compete, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I just feel like the Rams have been so much better all around, so.
Yeah.
And did I miss any games? Is there any we want to sub for the Rams since it's a unanimous Rams-Vikings decision? Or is Corey going to change him on us again?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I won't touch it.
You want to go to Jaguars-Browns game?
Yeah, why not?
That's going to be unanimous.
Yeah.
Texans-Cardinals? You love the Cardinals.
I don't love the Cardinals. Falcons-Seahawks?
That's probably the only other decent game.
Yeah, but I felt we'd all pick the Falcons.
I don't know. I can't remember who I picked and picked them.
You picked already
Yeah.
for next week?
I think I might have taken Seattle. I don't know. We can just leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
And then we don't have to worry about Colts, Jets, Niners, or Panthers next week, so they're all on bye weeks. Bucks were supposed to be on bye weeks, so we were the Dolphins. Instead, they're playing. Damn hurricane. Let's go to NASCAR.
NASCAR was interesting this week because Matt Kenseth announced his retirement at the end of this year, so effective immediately. And then he goes and he wins Phoenix to go out like a champ. He's going to be a Hall of Fame driver anyways. He's been a great driver for a long time. It's too bad that he doesn't have a chance. He was in the chase, but he was knocked out early. It's too bad they didn't have a chance to compete for it in his final year. The other interesting thing that happened in Phoenix is 2 races ago in Martinsville, Denny Hamlin got up into Chase Elliott and crashed him and knocked him out of the chase. And this week, Chase Elliott decided to return the favor. Denny Hamlin was racing to get in to the Final Four, and Chase bumped his corner on purpose, crashing Hamlin out. And that was the end for Hamlin. Chase actually had a shot to win a race again. The same old thing with him. He's come in second, I don't know how many times. But he was beaten out by Matt Kenseth. Chase Elliott has big things coming, though. Probably next year he's going to be one of the elite drivers. Because with all these people retiring, Hendrick will put all their money into Chase. The other big news is Jimmy Johnson got knocked out, so he doesn't have a chance for 8 championships, and he's getting up there in age. That's why I think Hendrick will change all their money into Chase Elliott because he'll be their young star for that team. Anyways, with the race ending, the finals have been set in stone. It is Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Kevin Harvick racing for the championship. It is the points are reset, and it's may the best man win type scenario. So whoever finishes the highest wins.
First one to go.
Yep. I kind of like that. I think the chase is interesting, the way they have done it. So I've told Stefan, as far as fantasy goes, since he's in the lead, he might as well pick first, and then you, Kevin, and then me.
Yeah, I think that's how we tried to do it. Sometimes Stefan would
Yeah,
get eager,
yeah.
but it didn't really affect my picks usually.
No. And we decided to reset the field, so pick anybody you want.
Anyone you want, Stefan. Preferably towards the bottom.
I'll take the. I don't know if he's a favorite. Kevin Harvick. That's what I'm going with.
All right, I'm
Whether
taking
he's
Bush.
favored or not.
All right, I'm going to go with who I said would win this year anyways in Truex. So let's see if I'm right. Kyle Busch's best race is Miami.
And he's got 5 wins.
Yeah, he's super good there.
You said Harvick?
I'm going Truex.
Oh, Truex. Sorry.
Stefan went
Where does he
Harvick
say he has 5 wins? He has 1 win.
of all time.
No,
This is
in the standings.
I just know he's really good there.
Okay, well, he has 1 win.
He has 5
Well, he
wins
said-
in the standings.
Oh, in
Oh,
the
in the
standings.
standings.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
No, but he's only raced there 12 times. 5 times he's in the top 10. Pretty good.
God,
16 and 8. Harvick's good too.
He's been in the top.
Yeah.
Harvick crashes first lap. I cruise to the victory. That's what I'm hoping for.
I need both of you to crash to have a chance. Otherwise, I'm just fighting for second.
So we're still doing the points, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's not just whoever finishes.
No, in real NASCAR, that's all reset, and it doesn't matter. But in fantasy, if you were to reset it, why do we play the rest
Right.
of the year?
True.
It wouldn't count for anything.
I guess you played the rest of the year to see
Just
who
to
got
get the
pick.
first pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be it. So you don't do it that way, I guess.
Sorry, I'm losing my mouse cursor here. And we have some Premier League picks. I don't know if we went over them last time. I think I was pretty defeated towards the end of the podcast last week.
I don't think we did.
Stefan and Corey one last pick 'em with Chelsea.
Breaking the streak.
Yeah. Corey looks to make it 2 in a row with Watford 1-0, and I'm picking Watford 2-1. Stefan going with a draw for some reason. I don't know why.
I have a question.
Why not?
Has anyone picked the exact correct score yet?
I picked a draw up here.
When it was a draw, do we get bonus points, or because I'm just wondering why are we picking what the score is?
I don't know. I think
just for bragging rights.
No, I think it's
I
more
thought if you got it exactly, you get like an extra win maybe or something.
like
to
a
make it interesting.
tiebreaker if it comes to the end of the season.
Okay. All right.
Do we even have like a score?
He was, yeah.
Oh,
Well, he
it
was at one point.
No, we don't have a score anymore.
Well, I guess it's easy to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard.
I can probably tell you who's
Color-coded.
winning and who's losing right now.
Can you? 3.
Corey might be in the lead. Oh wait, red
it
is
not.
bad. Never mind.
Nice little 9-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hurt your chances. We'll get back on track.
Can't
It's a long
believe-
season.
I can't believe Chelsea won. 1-0.
It's not that they're playing against a nobody.
No.
All right, let's go to college football. What happened this weekend, gentlemen? Did you guys pay attention at all?
We watched a little bit of Miami Notre Dame.
It's a lot of big games.
I was impressed by Miami's defense. They were kind of all they were hyped up to be. Notre Dame couldn't get anything going. I wanted to catch Oklahoma TCU, but I didn't. Wasn't able to catch any of it.
TCU let me down.
Baker Mayfield is my front runner for Heisman.
You know who let me down was UW losing to Stanford. I didn't appreciate that. Mainly for personal reasons against Stefan.
But of course, Kevin still refuses to put them in his top 25. But that was Syracuse. Syracuse would have jumped right up there. Oh, you just be a top 10 team? You're right in.
Apparently, my vote's
Where's our college expert been lately?
He is experiencing. Oh, he's ready. So here he comes.
Nice.
You just had to say something.
You ask and you shall receive her on here.
Let me get a hold of him. So, what else happened in college football?
Well, Ohio State blasted Michigan State.
Iowa State and Oklahoma State, right?
Minnesota Providence and
Hello.
Hello, college expert Joe. How are you?
Georgia going down. Pretty big.
Under the circumstances, cold. Cold.
Joe is experiencing some heating issues at his house, but is joining us, thankfully, to provide some insight on what happened this past weekend in college football. Hey, you got Ohio State over Michigan State, right? Everyone else picked Ohio State except me, so you had that for you.
One guy thought they were so bad he wouldn't even put them in his top 25.
I forgot about them. I overlooked them. I put them in. And then Notre Dame versus Miami. That game was not as exciting as many hyped it up to be. Miami pretty much dominated Notre Dame. Syracuse looked better against Miami than Notre Dame did.
Yeah, Notre Dame was just did not compete well and really stunk it up on the field.
And then Oklahoma.
But I think Miami is, probably what we all thought they could be. I know there was speculation on, that they weren't maybe a playoff team yet, but I think after Saturday night they proved that they deserve to be. And with the schedule remaining, depending on how, what happens in the ACC championship game, could be one of the 4 playoff teams.
I know other non-important top 25s came out, and Miami was number 1. I haven't revealed the number 2, not number 1. And sorry, I'm trying to talk and change pictures, and it's not working well. So let's just stop. And I will say Miami is our number 2 as well in this week's poll, so a lot of hype was behind that game, and the way they handled themselves, I think it all impressed most of us.
I think it's the gold chain.
I want one.
Seriously. With a big S on it. Forget the U, the big S, but man, what a gimmick, if you will. But I'll tell you what, defense causes turnovers, and I don't know if that's what motivates you. Then good for you, because that is just awesome. I mean, those players get amped up on those turnovers, run over to the sideline, put that thing on. Which, mind you, I would like to know how it was paid for. By the way, that's my only question every time I see it, because they talk about it, and it's legitimately real gold, and it was a friend of the program, if you will. They didn't actually say that, but a very prominent, big-time jeweler in the Miami area that, does stuff for the celebs and stars, provided this to the EU. I want to know what it cost.
Well, Miami's known for their cocaine, so who knows?
Yeah, and they're part of Adidas.
Oh, there you go.
Joe, what happened with Alabama this weekend? They looked like they struggled a little bit.
They played a really tough Mississippi State team, top 25 team that was able to run the ball pretty effectively and controlled most of that game. But you're not going to win every single game by 20, 30 points. We all know that in college football.
All right, as always, something has to mess up.
As always.
I kind of had a feeling 44 was going to be a jinx for us. I mean,
goddamn Syracuse.
This is going to be a fun one to edit because nothing's even going out audio right now. Wow. I think I figured out the issue now.
Did
There it
Joe
is.
pick Wisconsin?
Joe did pick Wisconsin.
Just a Hunter.
All right, I figured out. I closed the wrong window. My bad. Well, the stream died, and yeah. Well, at least I have the audio from this.
It'll all work out.
Yeah. Hey. So Stefan, as always, what's your issues of voting that doesn't really matter?
Let's see. Where to begin?
Obviously, you don't think Miami's the second best team.
No, I don't.
You think Wisconsin, who hasn't played anyone?
They just beat Iowa. What do you mean? Is Iowa nobody?
They're no one on our top 25.
They haven't been for
I
weeks.
think they were last week. Oh, there's Iowa. Mine, anyways.
Two people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, I mean, you want to talk about me putting Wisconsin up there? This guy's putting a one-loss Clemson up there.
I know. He loves Clemson.
Yeah, I know.
Anything orange.
Hmm?
What about Auburn's win, though? That was crazy.
That was a, yeah, I was not expecting
And
that.
I'm the only one who still didn't put them above Georgia.
Apparently, head-to-head matchups mean nothing to you.
Like I said, I view a team on how well I think they would do on the rest of the field. And I think 7 out of 10 times Georgia would win.
It's not enough to keep them ahead, I don't think.
Okay.
I
was able to bring Stanford back in my top 25. So
That's
actually, they never left my top 25.
Yeah,
they were on their way out.
Ooh, yeah.
They're on their way
I was
out.
able to keep Army in.
Yeah. I feel confident that Army's going to stay in, and Stefan introduced him to his top 25 after mocking us last week.
Yeah, I was running out of teams to.
And I dropped Mississippi State down, but I didn't take them out because they battled Alabama hard. Like I said, if they played my Army or NC State or Boise State, they might even be able to beat those teams.
Oh,
Mississippi State.
No, they're garbage.
Yeah. Just went head to head with Alabama and almost pulled it off.
And I brought LSU finally back into my top 25.
Congrats to the
party. I don't think that I've had them in since they lost to Troy.
We're happy to have you here.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has TCU way up there.
Joe.
He didn't take their loss very hard, but he also doesn't like Oklahoma.
He's got him at 5.
Oh. He was higher than I thought he would. He doesn't like Ohio State either, which he has low.
Got him right where I've got him.
Yeah.
You're the one high on them.
Because they're good.
They're okay.
Penn State. Who has Penn State way down? Joe and Kevin. You and I have them up a little.
Yeah, that loss kind of hurt them. Their back-to-back losses. I'm surprised Washington didn't fall down as far.
It's a quality loss. Stanford.
Yeah, I have them up higher, and so do you, Kevin.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, we had Stanford as a top 25 team for a little while, so I don't.
You don't, and neither of you have them as.
But I have in weeks past, so I don't consider it. So they're like a fringe team, so I don't consider that bad of a loss. That's why I didn't hurt Georgia. Losing to Auburn, that's not a big deal. The only reason I jumped Miami over Wisconsin is quality of wins.
I mean, Wisconsin, I don't think they really have anybody left to play.
That's the problem with them. That's my only problem.
I don't know. What was Joe saying that Miami has?
Miami has a easy schedule the rest of the way until ACC bowl or whatever.
Yeah, the ACC championship where they're going to face Clemson.
Oh, yeah. They'll have Clemson.
Those both were decided this past weekend. They will face each other in the ACC championship no matter what. So,
so that's what the December 2nd game is? That's
Yeah.
the ACC championship?
Mhm.
So they have Virginia and Pitt to close out the season.
I mean, we're coming to a close here on the NCAA football regular season.
I just gave Miami credit for beating two top 15 ranked teams back to back.
Mhm.
So that's why I moved them up to number 2.
I mean, I definitely have no issue with them number 2. I have no issue with our top 4s. It's just basically, I feel like that's who we feel for the most part. Obviously, either Miami or Clemson's going to make it into the playoffs, and then the loser gets bumped down. And I mean, easily could be Auburn or Oklahoma going in.
That'll kind of be the deciding factor with Wisconsin or Ohio State or Penn State, right? Don't they have to play each other eventually?
I don't know. They might
Wisconsin on one side and Penn State and Ohio State are on the other side.
Let me check the standings because I know it's the top teams.
Michigan still?
I don't know why I'm so high on Michigan, but
you like Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Don't fault you.
They've only lost 2 games. I mean, it's not like
no.
So Ohio State would face Ohio State's going to face Wisconsin, or Wisconsin's going to face Penn State or Michigan State. It's still out.
Right.
With Illinois and Michigan. I mean, that Michigan game is always a rivalry game, so anything can happen in those, but I don't know how the tiebreaker works because right now you're looking at a 4-way tie if Michigan wins against Ohio State and everything plays out. Let me check to make sure Michigan State. Yeah, I mean, Michigan State.
Maybe points forced because Ohio State has 442. That would put them, they're well above everyone else.
I think.
Yeah, but then if you look at these all have 5 and 2 right now. They don't have them ranked that way. I don't know what they're going by.
Because you also got to remember it might be conference points for and against 2.
That's what I think it is.
That includes non.
I think that's just what they've scored in the conference. Yeah. That's overall.
I know.
Oh,
but even here, look at points. It's just
yeah.
So I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what they use.
What other conference do we got here?
We'll figure it out when we get there. It's going to be Wisconsin versus somebody out of that other side.
I mean, do we see Oklahoma losing anything?
No, you know what I see Oklahoma having the big old championship race.
Kansas and West Virginia. Stefan, you're high on West Virginia. Who do you think's going?
Kansas and West Virginia?
No, Oklahoma versus West Virginia.
I haven't been high on Oklahoma, but they're playing pretty well right now. I would say Oklahoma. For sure.
I mean, that's a home game for them. And Kansas is on the road, but Kansas is 1-9. So I feel like you're going to see the second string early in that game.
Yeah.
Let's go over our picks. Joe gave me his before I let him go. You guys kind of heard some of it. The viewers didn't, though. We have Wisconsin versus Michigan. I'm the only one high on Michigan. Army versus. This is a rough week to pick because, I mean, Alabama's playing Mercer State or Murray State, I think, and Clemson's playing the Citadel. It's like another bye week basically for a lot of these bigger programs. They tend to do this once in a while where they'll have that nothing game right before the end of the season, and we are in the thick of it right now. Army versus North Texas. Stefan, although voted for Army in his top 25, is picking North Texas.
Mean Green.
And then Joe is sticking with Gruden, is it? At Florida Atlantic. And I am sticking with Jay Gruden.
Is he there?
Jay Gruden coaches the Redskins.
Oh. Who's the... I'm getting my brothers confused maybe then. Who's the coach for Florida Atlantic?
Not sure. The only reason I picked Florida Atlantic is because one of my good friends went to school there.
He went to he was the Alabama offensive coordinator last year.
No idea.
Oh God.
Should have picked your Navy Notre Dame. You were high on Navy there for a while.
Kansas State beating Oklahoma State. That's probable.
Because I put Lane Kiffin. There we go.
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, Lane Kiffin.
I was high on Navy because they were winning.
Still
They're 7-3 now. Army's 8-2. Plus, I've always kind of been an Army guy.
Why don't you just go join the Army?
I'm a little too old, I believe.
Yeah. Believe you're right.
Yeah. Still have until 36. You aren't that old.
I thought, I know I can't be drafted. That's a plus.
You can't be drafted.
I don't think you couldn't have been drafted anyway.
Why?
Because he's in school.
Well, no, he's the only son. Isn't that, aren't you,
Is that still true?
I thought so. Know. We don't even do a draft anymore, so you tell me.
I don't know.
When's the last time we've done a draft?
Trump wants one. Everyone needs to get prepared.
Yeah, well, when he sends us to World War III, there probably will be a draft.
Know the rules?
There won't be much of a war. It'll be 2 nukes and everyone will be dead.
Yeah.
All right. So
the next war is not even going to have like any infantry.
No.
It's going to be all right. Anyways.
So our top 5 teams. Our top 5 this week is teams we think that are going to win the Super Bowl. Our top 5 potential teams to win the Super Bowl. So I went first for Halloween, so I guess one of you guys can go first.
I want to hear Stefan's off the top of his head.
Ooh.
Top 5.
You think I can't come up with it off the top of my head?
You said you already did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Already.
I want to hear him.
Well, where do you want me to start? With number 5?
Preferably. Number 1 it is.
In that case, I'm going with the Saints, number 5.
Why?
They've obviously proven that they can.
I guess I got to hear your other ones before I
Yeah.
ask why they're the last.
You don't even know who my other teams are.
All right.
Number 5 is the Saints. Because I'm not completely sold on them. But they are playing very well right now. There's always that. I still think of the Saints as the team with no defense.
It is hard to. But this year they have one. But anyways. It's your top 5.
Keep going. That is my top 5. You want me to give them all?
Oh, are we going around?
Yeah, why not?
Number 5. I got the LA Rams.
Ooh.
They are number 3 in the league in total offense. They are number 15, which puts them in the middle of the pack at total defense. And they have played 3 teams with winning records, and they are 2-1. They beat Dallas and Jacksonville, and they lost a division game to Seattle. So depending on how you value Dallas and Jacksonville, that's why I have them as all the way down at 5, because to me, Dallas and Jacksonville are fringe good teams.
Definitely Dallas.
So, but they still are sporting a 7-2 record, which bodes well for them. And like I said, number 3 offense, pretty good offense. So. Number 5.
So for my number 5, I could only really think of 4 strong top 4 teams. So 5 is kind of like, well, we'll see what happens when they get all their players back. And number 5 for me is the Cowboys, because with Zeke, they were pretty phenomenal the past couple games. Maybe they'll turn around when he comes back. If he comes back, who knows? That's my number 5.
Number 4.
You have no comment?
I mean, okay, so with Zeke, they still had 3 losses. I mean, is that? I guess that's. I mean, if that's what you think. Team I'm about to go has 3 losses, so. So I can't really argue that too much.
No teams on my list will have 3 losses. Just heads up. So go.
Number 4. My other favorite team. Jacksonville
When you
Jaguars.
said 3 losses, I knew who it was.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Solid defense.
Although I'm kind of surprised you didn't give the Chiefs credit because they beat you. But.
I think it was early in the season. I think we should have won. Jacksonville, I think, is one of the most improved teams this year.
You can mark it. They are. They're the most improved.
I'm still not sold on their passing game, but their run game is definitely one of the best. As long as Leonard Fournette shows up to everything he's supposed to show up to and can play games.
Although I'll say I think Bortles has improved as the year's gone on.
Yeah. And I think he's managed the game. He's not really.
I think part of it is a confidence thing. Like, it was obvious the coaches had lost confidence in him last year. Mm-hmm. And this year it's a new regime, and they put him out there, and they're trusting him and letting him do some more things.
And it might have also been like, I mean, you know, if you're just lopsided, if you're only a passing team, then you don't rush as many players. You know, you sit back in coverage. You don't have to put as many players in the box. So now you got to worry about Leonard Fournette. Now you're putting more players in the box to stop him. It's opening up more things for Bortles.
No, it's too bad they lost Allen Robinson. Imagine what they could be.
Imagine. Could have been like 3rd or 2nd.
Could have been like 7-2. Are you all done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 4, New England. Number 1 offense in the whole league. Defense, though, number 30. That's why I got them 4th.
It's not bad.
It's pretty awful.
It's not the worst.
So if you average it out, they're a middle of the road.
It's not the worst.
But this is the part where I give them credit a little bit. They've actually played 4 teams with winning records, but they're only 2-2. And they've only lost 2 games, right? So they're only 50. I mean, they're 5-0 against teams with losing records, which is okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But they're only 2-2 against teams with winning records. So they take a hit. They beat New Orleans, and they beat Atlanta.
2 solid teams.
But they lost to Kansas City, and they lost to Carolina. So I have them at number 4. I'm actually just crediting them more so because of having Belichick. I almost put them at number 5, but you have to consider Belichick and Brady, and that boosted them up 1 spot.
Fair enough.
On to you, Kevin.
Number 4. Oh, when the Saints go marching on. I got nothing else to add. I didn't do as much research as Corey.
Oh, I had to dive in because I was waiting for Stefan to get on me about where I put his best team in the league.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Stefan.
I already took a glance.
Yeah.
Number 3.
I don't know.
I thought we lost him. Number 3.
Number 3, I got the greatly improved Los Angeles Rams. They could be the most improved team. Honestly.
So could the Saints.
But the Saints, like, they're like supposed to be good. And like every year they just end up being bad. Where like the Rams weren't supposed to be good and they weren't good. Jaguars weren't supposed to be good, they weren't good. So I would give it to the Rams or the Jaguars. Rams, Jared Goff surprised me. I wasn't expecting him to be as good as he's playing right now.
It's too bad because he's making Jeff Fisher look like a genius, but at the same time a moron because Jeff wanted him with that number 1 pick or number 1 overall, right?
They took him number 1.
Yeah, number 1 overall pick. He wanted him, but then he wasn't able to put him in a system to make him successful.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and the guy looks like a stud. So it's an interesting.
Sucks to be Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
I think they've got a solid defense, very solid. And their offense has been clicking.
I was actually surprised to see that their defense was 15th. I thought it would be higher. I mean, that's still.
They've had some games where they've given up quite a bit.
That puts them in the top half of the league, but still.
That's my number 3.
Number 3. Philly. Philadelphia Eagles. They get credit because they're 8-1, so they are sporting the best record. They have the 4th best offense in the league and the 11th best defense. But they've only played 2 teams currently with winning records, and they are 1-1. They beat Carolina, and they lost to Kansas City. So I had to partially go with, is their offense high and their defense high because they aren't playing people? Or is it because they're the real deal? So I couldn't really decide. So I gave them credit. I do have them 3rd, but I couldn't put them number 1 or even number 2.
That's sad. It's unfortunate for you.
If their schedule was somewhat improved, as you'll see when I get to the top 2 teams who they've actually played.
Their schedule is going to be very much improved by the end of the year. We'll have a better picture then.
We will. Maybe we'll have to revisit at the end of the season going into the playoffs. But anyways, number 3. My halfway grades. Eagles are 3rd.
All right, my number 3. Stefan's fond of this team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Boom. See? The right pick was 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
How's that make that the right pick?
Stefan's the NFL pro.
No, he's not.
No, definitely not. But, I mean, this is a democracy, and we voted 3, so they're 3.
No.
2/3 of us voted 3. Yeah. Anyways, is that all you have on it?
Yeah.
Just the old eyeball test.
The old eyeball test. Not sold on them yet. Not convinced. That's why they're 3.
And now even the Cowboys win next week's not going to sell anybody either because they don't have Zeke. So everybody's going to be like, well, that's why they won't beat the Cowboys.
Oh, roll out the excuses.
So now it's Smith.
Here are the tissues.
After that, they play the Bears, and that's not going to sell
anybody. No respect.
Now we're 10-1, and still nobody's respecting them. And then, then we roll into a little tougher part where we got the Rams, and I don't know
That's the part of your schedule where people are going to
I don't know what order it goes, but Rams, Seahawks.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Eagles are going to be like the Chiefs of yesteryear where they go 13-3 and still bow out early in the playoffs.
And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm completely okay with that. You're going to tell me that quarterback in his second year is going 13-3 and they bow out early? Okay. He has no playoff experience. I'm not
expecting. That's what happened with
expecting.
the Cowboys last year, right?
Not expecting him to do
Rookie
anything.
quarterback goes 13-3 and bows out early in the playoffs. With Dak. Wentz is just doing it his second year. Maybe. We'll see if he goes 13-3.
Yeah, he's going 14-2.
All right. Who's your number 3?
I already told you my number 3. Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Did I get my number 3? Yeah.
The Rams. Yeah.
Number 2, even I'm not giving them the full credit, is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2. I think they have the capability and the talent to be Super Bowl champions this year.
Well, you know them better than Kevin and I, obviously. So I know they have injuries. Could you tell me what they are and how impactful they are?
Well, they have actually quite a few injuries. Ronald Darby hasn't played, I don't think, since week 1. That was supposed to be their big cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's who they got from Buffalo?
Yep. So they've been playing without him all year. Been doing pretty good defensively. Like you said, could be a product of not playing the greatest teams. either way, you're playing against professionals. So you're doing.
Well, I think, not to cut you off, but I think we've seen this year that even the Browns, the difference between, let's say the Eagles are number one because of their record, the difference between the Eagles and the Browns is like a player away. Let's say Carson Wentz goes down, the Browns all of a sudden have a chance to beat the Eagles, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm saying that the professional football is so close. Like Houston was great with Deshaun Watson. Now they're garbage. They're one player away from being only as good as the Browns.
But I mean, that's for
the Cowboys are only one player away from being dominant, right? They lose Zeke, all hell breaks loose. I'm just saying, I agree with you that like they're playing professional teams, so they are only one player away. But
I put more value on a quarter. I mean, I feel like you can lose a running back, and you should still be able to be somewhat successful.
I think the start of that game, I spoke on it earlier, was Tyron Smith not playing.
Yeah.
But anyways,
but I think the bigger story is the coaching not doing anything to help out
on that side.
That guy, put a tight end over there, put the running back, do something.
Yeah. They
just kept one-on-one, and he was getting torn up.
Yeah.
But I think the Eagles they have a very good offense. I think it's clicking on all cylinders. It's one of the better offenses I've seen probably since McNabb. Defense has been playing well. They've got offensive line injuries, and the guys that have been coming in have been playing very well. I mean, it helps when you have a mobile quarterback that can get out of situations. So even when the line's not playing well, it hasn't hurt them too much. Their run game, they've got one of the, I don't know, you probably don't have that stat, but I believe they're one of the best running offenses. Surprisingly, because that once Darren Sproles went down, I really thought that we were going to take a big hit. And they've done really well without him. And then adding Jay Ajayi, who knows where that takes
I thought that was a big move.
Yeah. Defensively, they've lost their middle linebacker as well. Haven't had Ronald Darby. But other than that, I mean, defense has been playing solid, I think.
You lost Hicks too, right?
Yeah, that was their middle linebacker. So we'll see.
So you got Philly at number 2. So honestly, though, all the shit I've talked about them, I still have them as a top 5 possible team out of 32 teams to win the Super Bowl. So it's not like I think they're complete garbage.
I know.
I just like picking.
I know.
And I'll expect the same if the Bengals ever get their shit together.
Well, we all know that's not going to happen. So
right, I'm not too worried about it. Number 2, I have Pittsburgh. I know I said they're just eking out games, but they are. I mean, they're winning. They have played 4 teams with winning records. They are 3-1 against those teams, which is impressive. They actually have the best percentage against winning records in the whole league. They beat Minnesota. They beat Kansas City. They beat Detroit. They lost to Jacksonville. They have the number 11 offense, so they're a little weak there as far as the other teams. But they have the 3rd best defense in the league. That's big. Their defense is clicking. They say defense wins championships. Offense wins games. So a defense coming into the playoffs should be interesting. So I got them number 2, plus I think the NFL's rigged. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Roethlisberger gets the Super Bowl before he retires, just like Ray Lewis miraculously got it before he retired.
all right, number 2 for me, the LA Rams. I mean, they just seem to have everything clicking for them right now. And this is the type of time of season when you should be on all cylinders running, beating the teams you're supposed to beat handily, not close. I'm impressed with them, unfortunately, as much as I hate the Rams. I don't even know why I hate the Rams. I just don't like.
Oh, there he is.
So that's my number 2. Go ahead, Stefan.
Number 1.
Big reveal.
Oh, shocking.
Patriots.
I actually am surprised. I honestly thought they weren't going to be on your list.
Who did you think I was going to put in over them? Steelers?
Yeah. I really was expecting you
I'm
to
not
say
sold on the Steelers.
They're off your top 5. I'm kind of surprised the Jaguars are ahead of them. But Jaguars were the only team with a winning record that beat the Steelers. So it's interesting. Anyways.
Patriots, I feel like their bad defense was a lot early in the season. I think they've actually turned around their defense in recent weeks. Offense is obviously always clicking. They have arguably the GOAT at quarterback and arguably the GOAT at coach. So
I don't even think it's arguable with the coach. It's not.
You have those two factors going into the playoffs with home field advantage. I mean, really in the AFC, I mean, they did lose to the Chiefs. Yeah, they lost to – who else did they lose to?
They lost to the Chiefs and they lost to the Panthers.
But
so you and I have spoke on the Panthers.
They don't even have to – that's not even – I'm talking about just getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, I guess Chiefs could give them a fight in the playoffs.
Well, the Panthers are that team we said, at least in the regular season. Cam's ceilings out of all the quarterbacks in the league, I honestly think is higher than everyone else's when he's on his game. And he was on that day.
Yeah.
I think he's almost impossible to stop. But he has a floor that's really low.
Yeah.
So that's why they're 6-3.
I just think the AFC's kind of weaker, in my opinion.
You didn't pick any. Oh, you picked Jacksonville. So you think Jacksonville is the second best team in the AFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, my number 1. Talked about them. New Orleans Saints. I'm a believer. Saints, number 2 offense. Only behind the Patriots. And a number 9 defense, which I think is the big shocker. I haven't seen Drew Brees with a defense this good since they won the Super Bowl. I also played that into the factor. They have Drew Brees, so they have experience. Sean Payton's been there. That's some experience as opposed to Philly and the Rams coaches. Obviously, Mike Tomlin has been there with Pittsburgh. And New Orleans against winning teams, they've actually had the toughest schedule. They've played 6 teams with winning records, and they've gone 4-2. They beat Buffalo, they beat Green Bay, they beat Detroit, they beat Carolina. But they lost to New England and they lost to Minnesota. So the teams that they beat with winning records are kind of borderline. But they got the wins. So I gave them credit for it. You got Kevin.
My number 1. Where there's a will, there's a way, and the Patriots always have a way. So that's my number 1. I believe I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with them.
I think I did too. Or maybe I picked the Raiders. I can't remember.
I know one of you guys had the Packers on the other side,
did.
which I assumed would change. I had Raiders Cowboys. If I had to pick right now, I'd totally change that pick. So
you don't think the Raiders are going to turn stuff around?
No, I don't know what happened. They're one of the NFL's biggest disappointments, I think.
Even with adding Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, they're worse. And I think the Cowboys are a disappointment too. Even at 5-4, they should be better.
So I mean, even if Zeke had not got suspended, they were to match last year's performance, they would win out the rest of their games.
Yeah, they're a disappointment. Like I said, Dak, up until last week, had been playing at a higher level than last year, but the rest of his team wasn't. So it's tough. It's a team sport for sure. Quarterback is the most important position, but it's a team sport, so you can't just have one player playing above himself.
Right.
Well, on that note, ready to end this episode 44. You guys don't know it, but not only did you guys drop from the beginning, I've had to reboot the streaming software twice.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be fun for me. Lucky number 44.
Sounds like you're having a good time over there.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell when he's having a bad time. Kevin gets real quiet.
I know.
It's been quiet the last 2 weeks. I'm sick of this. Next week, Thanksgiving talk. We'll probably do all the Thanksgiving games.
We're gonna discuss our favorite pies next week.
Yeah, favorite pies. Five
Good. I got
favorite
about
pies.
20 different pies I can name.
I just like American pie.
I was thinking sides, but I couldn't think of another side.
You can only think of one side.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, corn,
stuffing.
Green bean casserole.
There's 3.
Cranberry sauce.
Gross.
Sweet potato casserole.
Hey, cranberry sauce is a side. Doesn't mean you have to like it.
Right?
Yeah, but I gotta come up with my favorite 5 sides. I can't even do that.
Rolls.
Maybe we'll come up with a community 5 for the pies.
Should we all cook our favorite Thanksgiving dish and bring it?
Oh yeah. We'll share.
Oh, and just so you guys are aware, there is a Thanksgiving song, and I'm gonna open the show next week with it.
Oh boy.
So we got that going.
Kevin, I saw that you made it so our podcast is the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Is our podcast also going to be the day after New Year's? Because New Year's falls on a Monday as well.
That was to be discussed.
Okay.
On that note,
A-Town.
always cool. Whoops.